Hi everyone, my name is Sebastien Lagree. I am the creator and founder of Lagree Fitness. Today I want to talk about an important milestone in Lagree Fitness, and that is the launch of Lagree 2.0. So what is Lagree 2.0? For the past 25 years, Lagree has been literally evolving dramatically. Each evolution has been led by a change in the equipment, features, new innovation. But there has been one innovation that is not only changing the method, is transforming it, and that's this guy over here. So this is called Lightning. This is a spring change. This is a wireless remote control spring change, and it's transforming the method. So what is Lightning and why does it matter to you? Well, Lightning is a remote control spring change. So if you're familiar with the Superfast on the Evo, essentially the Lightning spring change is a remote control Superfast. So this allows you to change the same spring on all the megaformers at the same time. So let's say that I want to change to a yellow spring. I'll just click my button over here and it will change that spring on all the megaformers at the same time. This is an amazing tool because it saves you time, okay? If you've been teaching Lagree for a while, you probably realize by now that changing the spring is the biggest transition time, okay? The most amount of time you're gonna waste in class is when you change the springs. Very simple. Also, where the springs are located is also a big factor, right? So on the reformers and all the copycats, all the spring change is located at the front of the machine. So if you use that kind of system, every single time you have 10 people changing the springs, it takes 1 to 2 minutes to change that spring. This is why I created the quick release. The quick release is the spring change literally loaded at the back of the carriage, and which actually facilitate the change springs. But it still takes time, right? So Lightning eliminates all of this stuff because now you change the springs for people. But the best part about it is you can actually change the spring while people are working out. So they never have to get off the machine to change the springs. This is going to cut off 90% of the transition time. Obviously, this is not going to save you time when people are going from the front of the machine to the back or from the back to the front, or when people are wasting time grabbing the cables and so on, okay? But like I said, this is only about 10% of transition time. The biggest waste of time is really to change the springs, and now it's completely resolved. So Lightning is more than a convenience tool, right? With Lightning, you can do so much more than just changing the springs for everyone. So like I said before, Lightning is way more than a convenience tool. Sure, after COVID, you can definitely sell this as a hygienic form of changing the springs because essentially now your clients never have to touch the springs, only the teacher is doing that. Sure, it's convenience, hygienic tool if you want to put it that way, but that's not the reason why I created this, okay? The reason I created that was to eliminate the transition so that you can actually do sequences that you cannot teach on an analog machine. So to give you an example, you can mix pulling and pushing exercise together. What does it look like? Well, for example, if you look at the runner's lunge and the elevator lunge, it's the exact same exercise, right? You have the same foot on the platform, the other foot on the carriage. Essentially, you're performing the same motion. The only difference is the spring load. One, you have a light spring, one, you have a heavy spring. But you cannot do this exercise back to back. Why? Because you have to interrupt the series. You have to get off the machine, change your springs to go to a lighter or a heavier setting, get back in the exercise. For that reason, I never ever teach this sequence because it takes too much time. It's a waste of time. No longer. With this remote control over here, I can transform, I can morph a pulling exercise into a pushing exercise, or I can morph or transform a pushing exercise into a pulling exercise. So let's say that we're doing an elevator lunge on the right leg. As you do your exercises, I can slowly add another spring until you find it no longer pulling, but you go to a pushing exercise without you ever stopping. But you will feel it every single time you push the carriage, more and more tension. Or as you do your runner's lunge, little by little, I lessen the tension, and then we change the exercise and you morph from a runner to a elevator lunge. This is amazing because this allows you to stay in an exercise longer. So like I said, you can mix pulling and pushing exercise before. You can mix pulling and pushing. You do standing inner thighs, do standing outer thighs. Every repetition, you can change it. You can do my inner thighs now, and as I come back in, now do my outer thighs. The movement is the same, except that the spring is constantly changing. So I go from pulling to pushing. I work agonist and antagonist muscle back to back. Cannot do it on an analog machine, because every single time, again, you have to get off the machine, get off the movement, change the springs, get back on the movement. If the teacher is constantly changing the springs, you literally have to stop everything you're doing to change the springs. Now, I've created, like I said earlier, other modalities to change the spring, like super fast, but nothing is as fast as lightning, and that's why it's called lightning. So now we can mix and match, pulling and pushing exercise. I can actually strip the tension with this to keep you longer into an exercise. So using this technology, I've been able to increase the super lunge duration from the 6 minutes to 14 minutes. That's right. Now with this, we can do 14 minutes super lunge. You say, well, that's impossible. Nobody can stay in that lunge long enough. That is not true. Because now, as people do the super lunge, I vary the tension. I increase the tension, I drop the tension. So I give you a little break. So I'm allowing people to stay in this exercise for as long as they possibly can. This will increase your time under tension. This is going to increase your muscular endurance. No doubt about that. Then you can do also progressions with this. By changing the tension, you can actually progress an exercise into something else while you stay in that same exercise. So all of this over here is changing, whatever word you want to call it, transforming the Lagree method. It's an amazing tool, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. Now, I want to talk about another thing beside the lightning spring change. So lightning is not only allowing you to do the exercise for a longer period of time, it's also allowing you to move slower. So we have 8 magic keys. One of those magic keys is effective transition. So lightning is allowing you to basically eliminate those transition. And then we have another magic key called effective tempo. Effective tempo is the isokinetic part of Lagree. Lagree is an isokinetic workout. What does that mean, isokinetic? Isokinetic means the same speed. So that means you use the same speed to go out, same speed to come up, okay, or to go in. However, over time, you are supposed to decrease that speed. So not only you're supposed to do the exercise for a longer period of time, but you also are supposed to do it slower. So most of the people right now, most of the teachers, when you go into a typical Lagree class, are going to count to a tempo of 4, because that's the tempo that I gave everyone. Why? A tempo of 4 is slow enough to eliminate the momentum in an exercise and also give you enough time to talk about other things. So to give you an example, if I tell people to go to a count of 4, I say go out for 1, out for 2, out for 3, out for 4, in for 1, in for 2, in for 3, in for 4. But already that took about 16 seconds of me communicating the information. If I want you to slow you down to a count of 6 or 8, it's going to take twice as much time. So you can figure it out very quickly that your teachers actually are limited in the speed that they can convey in class. I can't count to 16 in class because literally 16 is a minute to push the carriage out and a minute to bring the carriage in. So for you to do 1 repetition at a count of 16 on the megaformer, it's 2 minutes. If you do a lunge, it's going to be a lunge, a minute going up and a minute going down. It means that I don't have time to talk about anything else. The entire time, I'm only counting the speed. Now, it's important, but I also need to talk about body alignment. I need to talk about how the Lagree workout works. So if I'm trying to get everybody to count of 16, it's literally impossible. And I need a second mouth or a third mouth, literally, to talk about everything else that is also important. But now, with lightning, on the back of this remote control, you have a bunch of buttons over here. 2 buttons allow you to speed up the lights or decrease the lights on the machine. So you'll see in the video that we have actually strips of lights on the monorail, and one set of light is going one direction, and the other set of light is going the opposite direction. And that's to show you how slow you're supposed to go. With this device over here, I can go to a speed slower than 16. I can go to a count of 20, which is amazing because now when I start a class, I'll say everyone, okay guys, this is the speed. Everyone look at the light and then keep the carriage basically in sync with the lights. And that will be the only time I talk about the tempo in class. That means for the entire 40, 45, 50 minutes, everyone is moving so slow, and I never have to talk about the speed. I never have to show them the speed because it's right there, it's displayed by the light. This is an amazing feature, and this is why it had to be Lagree 2.0, because this device right here allows everyone in class, even beginners, even people who've never been on a Lagree machine before. It allows everyone to do two things: to stay in the exercise longer and to go slower. It's an amazing device. The Lightning comes standard on the Evo 2. However, you can easily buy it for your Megaformer or your Evo 1. I recommend to buy this when you first order the machines. If you already have the machines, I think you want to wait until you get another machine because the retrofit is quite complex on that machine, especially if you have just an analog machine. So Lightning is amazing. All right, so as you can see, Lagree 2.0, Evo 2.0, copycat killer. I mean, you're going to be the king of the town with this duo. Now, you don't need to get the Evo 2 if you want to benefit from Lagree 2.0. Lagree 2.0 is adaptable, retrofittable on the Evo 1 and also on any Megaformer. So if you want to get an M3 with this, the Lagree 2.0 technology, not a problem. You let us know, and then we'll build your Megaformer that way. If you want to retrofit current existing machine, it's going to be a little complex. I don't recommend it. I think it's better to buy the equipment new because it's a lot of electronics that we have to integrate on those machines. Now, moving beyond Lagree 2.0, because I think I shocked a lot of people when I introduced the new method. Now, I hope you understand now why we had to upgrade the method, right? This cannot stay Lagree Fitness. With this, it had to be Lagree 2.0 because you can have more people in class doing the exercise slower and longer. So this is a huge boost in the method. But this is not going to be the only boost, and I'm already working on Lagree 3.0. So Lagree 3.0 will come out at some point next year, and Lagree 3.0 is going to be the effective integration of range of motion and biofeedback, and that's all I'm going to say about this for right now. If you are one of those who keeps waiting for the best machine to come, you will probably have to wait until I'm dead because it's never going to happen. We have a series of machines I'm working on right now. We're about 40%. In my mind, we're about 40% of where I see us in the future. So if you want to jump in Lagree, but you want to wait for the best one, do it right now. Don't wait. Buy your machines, start at the bottom if you want to, and you can upgrade, and one day you'll be a proud owner of this technology. And not only that, but you're going to have a fantastic time teaching. This teaching with this device right here is a godsend. It's amazing. All right, anyway, I'm here. If you have any questions, you can always email us, info@lagreefitness.com. And again, thank you for watching this video. My name is Sebastien Lagree.